Hello, my name is Jordan Havens, and I'm a graduate and former peer leader of Hightstown High School, and I'm currently a sophomore at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. Today, I'm joined by several current and former peer leaders who are going to share what their experiences have been like.
Hello, my name is Nate, short for Nathaniel, and I'm a senior, two-time PGC leader at Morris High School.
My name is Kayla. I attend Urban Assembly for Music and Art, and I am currently a PGC mentor.
I'm Madeline. I'm a senior at Hobson High School in North Carolina, and this is my second year being a PGC leader.
Hi, I'm Litzy. I'm a former PGC leader at Flushing High School and currently a freshman in Manhattan College.
So today, these formal peer leaders are just going to be answering some questions about how their experience with PGC has impacted them and may still be impacting them today. Thinking about the young people you worked with, what are some ways that you saw them change during their course of time that they spent with you? Can you describe a moment where you felt the program impacted your freshmen?
Definitely, one day during school, one of my mentees was having a bad day, and I saw them in the hallway, and they pulled me aside and was like, "Hey, this is going on, and I just need somebody to talk to." And in that moment, I realized that, wow, like we really do have an effect on the young kids, even though they're not that much younger than us. I felt as though it was an accomplishment to know that I got close enough to this student to the point where they can come to me about their issues. And I was a mentee when I first joined high school. So once I became a mentor, I just always constantly had the mindset of how they felt or how I felt, and that's how I kind of just thought to build my connection was just to continuously put myself in their shoes.
I have ESL kids Spanish primarily. So whenever I spoke to them, they never truly listened at first. And then with that, how you had to explain, more about you, I told them that I knew how it felt like being an ESL kid because I was close to being one myself since English is technically not my first language. Had to learn it, so I understood the struggle of learning a new language. So when I told them that, they finally had like, I could talk to her with anything. I could be comfortable with her pulling her aside.
That's always a great breakthrough. As someone who was a mentee and a mentor, and I also mentored ESL students, I can definitely relate. Thinking about yourselves, what are some ways that you've changed during your time as a peer leader?
I think over time in PGC, I made a decision to, let's say, come out of my comfort zone, and push my boundaries in ways that I never thought I would as a freshman. I began to realize what exactly that I like to do. I found where I fit in, which is things like PGC leadership roles. I found that they made me into the person that I am today.
What has been the most challenging and what has been the most rewarding about being a mentor?
When I joined PGC last year, I didn't know the people that I was co-leading with. And so once I went to the retreat and we did our breakthrough outreaches and stuff, then I realized like, wow, me and these people actually have a lot in common. But, of course, there are always going to be some things that you don't agree on. So the most challenging part is being able to communicate with you in a way that doesn't interrupt how we communicate with the mentees. I think that was the most challenging part, like always trying to make sure we was on the same page. And the most rewarding part was when I actually saw the mentees using the skills we taught them outside of PGC, because then that shows me that they actually pay attention to what I'm saying during that moment.
Several of you have talked about how PGC has helped build your communication skills. What ways have you used your communication skills outside of school to talk about issues that are important to you?
PGC has definitely taught me how to communicate a lot better. Before PGC, I knew a little bit about having a open-minded conversation, but with PGC, it taught me how to properly communicate and actually take the time to listen to what the person is saying. So learning those skills, I was able to then use those with friends or family members that, when we have serious conversations with everything that's going on in the world right now, everybody wants to use their voice, but not everybody knows how to. So for me, it was just constantly about posting how I'm feeling, but still being mindful of the other people who may feel different from me.
I want to recognize that last school year was a challenging one in many ways for all of us, and that having schools closed was a huge barrier for the PGC program. What were some strategies that you guys used or maybe still use now, because a lot of schools are online, when you tried to stay in touch with students in the spring, or when it was a challenge for you to set up meetings for you and your students?
One main thing me and my partner did to stay in touch was basically just like probably send them a message on social media, check out how they're doing, like check in on how they're doing, check in on how their family doing, because we can all agree that last spring, like, it took a toll on us mentally and emotionally, especially with our schoolwork. And I feel like having leaders to check in with you, it meant a lot to them, because it showed that people outside, like their family and friends, actually cared about them and they cared about their well-being.
Why do you think PGC is important, especially in the times we're living in?
I have a lot of friends that do have mental health issues, and it's just so difficult right now in a time of isolation to not be around their peers and not have someone to talk to. And I think PGC really is that place for a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people are stuck in their houses with families that they really can't talk to about certain issues. But as a leader, they can come to us and express those feelings that they're having. So I think it's really important to have right now.
A lot of people are kind of struggling during these times, stigmas, but also, as Madeline said, a lot of people don't have the resources that you may think they have through their family members or even still through social media. It can be a very intimidating place on who to reach out for help. So even though sometimes the kids don't want to participate in PGC in the way we want them to, but at the end of the day, sometimes them knowing that we are always there for them, no matter what, they will always have the mentors there for them, that can be like a lifeline in a time like this when you may not know it. What is giving you hope or inspiration right now?
The main thing that's giving me hope and inspiration would be the people that I surround myself with. That meaning my family, I see them every day. My friends, I see them anytime I can. And especially the school administration, the principal, the teachers. I feel like coming into this new school year, they all tried their best to make our school year, especially my last school year, like welcoming, comfortable for all of us. Even though we know we're not in a comfortable time, they tried their best to have it feel like it's regular school, especially with PGC.
Especially with stuff like PGC, what keeps me going and motivated is the fact that one day we can reestablish order and kids can go back to having the old PGC that I loved. And although the adaptations are working as they can right now, we all love the experience of just being able to connect in person and have like the in-person retreats and the in-person activities.
I'm starting something new. I'm starting like the path to my career, finally deciding what I want to be. So that's what motivates me, like sort of like the unknown of what's going to happen. But it's also like the unknown is what makes me want to go for it.
I know right now it's really tough, especially getting kids to show up for just a normal outreach, but it keeps me going to know that at least if one kid will show up, I can impact that one kid's experience in high school. And that's really all that matters, is just as long as you can help one person get where they need to be and be successful and confident in themselves, that's really why I'm doing this.
And that is it for our questions today. I want to thank you guys for joining me today in this. I hope you all and everyone else stay safe during these unprecedented times and has a safe and healthy winter.